Okay, so meaning and definition of monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is very realistic in nature. Monopolistic competition is very realistic in nature. That is, presently the society, the community, all the buyers, all the sellers make transactions in monopolistic competition. That is, this competition is reality, or this is a reality. That is, all we survive in the monopolistic competition as a consumer, as a buyer, as a seller. So this is the practical concept or which exist in reality in today's competitive world. In this market, some features of perfect competition, that is large number of sellers, large number of buyers, and some features of monopoly competition or monopoly market acting together. So Professor E.H. Chamberlain coined this concept in his book, that is Theory of Monopolistic Competition, Theory of Monopolistic Competition, which was published in 1933, which was published in 1933. So according to Chamberlain, monopolistic competition, monopolist is different from monopolistic. Okay, so monopolistic competition refers to competition among large number of sellers producing clothes but not perfect substitute. Producing clothes but not perfect substitute. Then what is meant by producing clothes but not a perfect substitute? For example, toothpaste. So in today's market there are various brands of toothpastes available in the market, that is Colgate, Cibaca, Sensodyne, Close Up, Max Fresh, etc. 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 These all are brand names of the toothpaste. Okay, so but in this toothpaste there is different brands available with us. Okay, so as per different brand, their quality, quantity, size, shape, taste, requirement of consumers, requirement of buyers also different. So as per the nature of the commodity, nature of the toothpaste is also different. So these all are toothpaste, that is clothes, producing clothes but not a perfect substitute. That is, there is distinguish between, difference between toothpaste of Sensodyne, toothpaste of Colgate, toothpaste of Max Fresh. Okay, all these are toothpaste but they are not perfect substitute. Okay, so according to Chamberlain, monopolistic competition refers to a competition among a large number of sellers producing clothes but not perfect substitute. Okay, so the next part, that is features, characteristics, peculiarities of monopolistic competition. Fairly, first feature, that is fairly large number of sellers. In monopolistic competition, the number of sellers is large, but comparatively it is less than that of perfect competition. Okay, sellers are large but less than perfect competition. Due to these reasons, sellers' behavior is like a monopoly. Sellers' behavior is like a monopoly. So here it is the combination of perfect competition and monopoly competition, means sellers are more than monopoly but less than perfect competition. Sellers are more than monopoly but less than perfect competition. Okay, then next, fairly large number of buyers. In this market there are fairly large number of buyers. Consequently, no single buyer can influence the price of the product by changing his individual demand. As we discussed in perfect competition also, as we discussed in perfect competition also, there is large number of buyers. There is large number of buyers buying homogeneous goods, but in monopolistic competition, large number of buyers buying differentiated products as per their need, as per their preference, but not a perfect substitute. Close substitute is there, but not a perfect substitute. So, a demand of single buyer, demand of individual buyer cannot influence market price, cannot influence market price or the price of the product, because we studied in perfect competition also the influence of single buyer, individual buyer, does not affect the total market price or the price of the product. So in monopolistic competition also, a single buyer or demand of single buyer does not influence the price of the product due to a change in the demand of due to change in individual demand. Okay, because when we compare individual demand with total market demand, or due to individual demand, there is not that much effect on the total market demand. So individual demand does not influence the price of the product. But if we take into consideration the market demand, then market demand can influence the price, but individual demand cannot influence the market price of the product or the price of the product. Okay, so there are large number of buyers, and demand of single buyer does not influence the price of the product. So whatever the price decided by the sellers, whatever the price decided by the seller, the buyer must buy the product, or he prefer other substitute of that product which is cheaper to him or her, which is cheaper to him or her, or otherwise he leave from the market. That is fairly large number of buyers. Next, product differentiation. Product differentiation. Product differentiation is the main feature of monopolistic competition. Listen carefully. Product differentiation is the main feature of monopolistic competition. In this market, there are many firms producing particular product but the product of each firm is in some way differentiated from the product of every other firm in the market. As I already told you, another, we take example of toothpaste. The toothpaste of Sibaka, the toothpaste of Sensodyne, the toothpaste of Patanjali, that is, there is maybe different. All these are toothpaste, but the the toothpaste of Sibaka and the toothpaste of Sensodyne and the toothpaste of Colgate, these all toothpastes are different from one from each other. Okay, so some people buy Sensodyne, some people buy Colgate or whatever, as per their need, preference, and as per their money available in the pocket. So, product differentiation. This is known as a product differentiation. Product differentiation may takes a form of brand names, trademarks, peculiarities of package or container, shop, quality, cover, design, it, etc. If we take example of soap, so there are number of soaps, there are different companies of soaps, but each soap is different from other companies soap. Okay, in terms of their brand names, in terms of their trademarks, in their peculiarities of package, quality, price. This means that the product of firm in monopolistic competition, that means the product of firm in monopolistic competition find a close substitute and its cross elasticity of demand is very high. Its cross elasticity of demand is very high. For example, mobile phones, cold drinks, etc. That is product differentiation. Okay, and so one of the feature of perfect competition, that is free entry and exit, is also the common feature of monopolistic competition also, that is free entry and exit. Unlike a perfect competition, in monopolistic competition also, the firms have freedom to entry and exit. The new firms enter into market when they get or to get a profit, or when they find there is a possibility of profit in future, so they enter into market, and if they suffer loss, then they exit from the market voluntarily. So there is no compulsion to enter and there is no compulsion to exit. This is all decisions are freely taken by the firm on their own decisions. Similarly, they can leave the market if they find it is difficult to survive in cutthroat competition. Okay, so next feature, selling cost. Selling cost. Selling cost in accountancy or in cost accounting, one of the branch of accounting, selling cost is different. But in monopolistic competition, the selling cost includes some part of the definition which is studied in cost accounting. That is only the part which required to create more demand, for its product and to increase the volume of sales. Means the expenses incurred by monopolistic expenses incurred by in monopolistic competition to increase the sales to create a new demand for product, only these expenses are treated as a selling cost. That is, it includes expenditure on advertisement, radio and television, broadcasting, hoardings, exhibitions, window display, free gift, free samples. That is the selling cost. That is the selling cost. But in actual, as a student of commerce and accountancy, if you calculate the particular cost of product, so at that time you have to calculate the cost of raw material, the cost of labor, the cost of all these things, and then you get a cost of production. So one of the cost, while calculating the cost of production, that is selling and distribution cost, that is the cost on packaging, cost on advertisement, exhibitions, television, broadcasting, all these things included in the selling cost of the product. All these things included as a selling cost of the product. So the next, close substitute. Close substitute. In monopolistic market, goods have close substitute to each other. For example, different brands of soaps and toothpastes. They are close to each other. If you prefer Lux, but it is not available, then you prefer Santur. So that is close substitute. Both are soaps, but the preference is depend upon you, what you prefer for your or as per your need, availability of money in pocket, your demand, your preferences, your requirement of quality of product, all these things decides the all these things helpful for taking a buying decision in monopolistic competition, because in monopolistic competition there are large number of close substitutes are available. You have to select one which perfectly suited to you. Okay, that is a close substitute. So the next, concept of group. Concept of group. Under monopolistic competition, Chamberlain introduced the concept of group in place of industry. Industry means the number of firms producing identical products, but in a group, a number of firms producing differentiated product. That is the difference between industry and group, which is given by Chamberlain, okay, as a that is group is different from how the group is different from industry. This industry producing identical products and group producing differentiated products but which are closely related to each other, that is soaps and toothpastes. For example, a group of firms producing medicines, automobiles. Okay, so the next thing, that is we here covered all features of monopolistic competition also. So the next thing, that is demand curve. Demand curve of monopolistic competition. The demand curve in monopolistic competition, the demand curve in monopolistic competition is also downward sloping demand curve, because the firms have partial control. The firms in monopolistic competition have partial control over the price, which leads to downward sloping demand curve. Quantity sold increases when price reduced, and if price raised, quantity sold tends to reduce. That is, the law of demand is applicable here, or the statement of law of demand is applicable here up to certain extent, because when price rises in monopolistic competition, demand become reduced, and when price rises, demand become reduced, and when price there is fall in the price, demand become rise. So the firm's demand curve under monopolistic competition is shown in this graph, that is on y-axis price, on x-axis quantity demanded. Okay, so the demand curve of, what is the difference between the demand curve of monopoly and demand curve of monopolistic competition? Both the curve downward sloping, but the difference is between the slope. The difference is between the slope. This is the slope of demand curve under monopolistic competition. And in monopoly market, the demand curve is, there is difference between slope, that is flatter and steeper. Okay, so here we covered all features of monopolistic competition. If anybody have any doubt regarding feature, regarding demand curve, then please ask. If you don't have doubt queries, then please say no. If you have doubt, then please say yes. Please, I want quick answer. ओके, काय डाऊट आहे? चॅट बॉक्समध्येच विचारा. Okay, so the next part, that is exercise completion. Next part, that is exercise completion. Up to fourth topic, I am depending on all of you for that you all completed the exercise and sent me, but this is my wrong conclusion and expectation. So from this topic, we together solve the exercise of the topic. Okay, so question number first, choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer, correct option from the option given below. First, in economic sense, market includes the following activities. In economic sense, market include the following activities. The place where goods are sold and purchased. An arrangement through which the buyers and sellers come in close contact with each other directly or indirectly. A shop where goods are sold, and option D, all of the above. What is the answer? Answer only in chat box. Answer only in chat box. Options are first option A and B, second option B and C, third option A, B, C, fourth option only D. In place of only D, you have to correct the option that is only B. Instead of only D, you have to write only B. That is the correct option, only B. Fourth option, only B. Okay, next, classification of markets on the basis of place. Option first, local market, national market, international market. Option B, very short period market, local market, national market. Option C, short period market, national market, international market. Option D, local market, national market, and short period market. And options are option A or first A, B, and C. Option second B, C, and D. Option 3 only A. And option 4 A and B. So classification of market on the basis of place. That is, answer is क्या आंसर है? That is classification of market on the basis of place. Local market, regional market, और national market and international market. ऑप्शन कोणता आहे? ऑप्शन नंबर थर्ड, that is only A, place, local market, national market and international market. Option number third, that is only A. Next, homogeneous product is feature of this market. Answer is perfect competition. Answer is perfect competition. और चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये काहीतरी रिप्लाय द्या बाळांनो. नेक्स्ट, under perfect competition, sellers are price maker, price taker, price discriminator, none of these. That is, options are first option A, B and C, second option only B, third option only C, and fourth option A and C. So the answer is only B. Answer is only B. That is, in under perfect competition, sellers are price taker. Okay, so the next question, that is question number second. Okay, so question number second, give economic term. The market where there are few sellers. The market where there are few sellers. Few, the word few. Answer is, please answer in chat box. Good, very good. Oligopoly.